So, welcome to Email Management and Organization Masterclass. I want this to be as interactive as possible. So, really, throughout any of this, if you have any questions of any kind, just let me know and I will definitely answer them. Hopefully, I've put in as much information as I can to where it's easy enough to follow along. And if not, just let me know. But I already know how people are when you talk about emails. No one wants to deal with it. No one wants to manage it. At some point, you just stop checking it, and now you have like 10,000 emails sitting there, and you go, well, I don't want to touch it. So I'm just going to leave it and hope that it deals with it. Honestly, everyone has that. I still personally have one, but it's that designated junk mail. So I kind of just leave it there in the designated spot. But if you have a personal or business one, you got to get over the hump of not wanting to deal with it. You got to deal with it at some point. It's your baby. You got to want to go through with it. So a little bit about me. I'm Bria. As you see, Disney is my life. I have many ears. I think one for every day of the week for almost 2 weeks, I think, honestly. So I think for 2 weeks straight, I can show you one ear every single day, including Saturday and Sunday. And I want my collection to keep growing. I want there to be a month's worth. But I have been doing email and calendar management for honestly years. So it just made sense for me to become a virtual assistant and my niche to be email management and calendar organization. And so now I want to share with you guys the tips and tricks that I use with my clients and things that I personally learned. And honestly, hope that this helps you guys really feel much better about organizing your email, organizing your calendar, and just really feeling good about what you're doing with your email. So if my thing will work, there you go. Let's get down to business, because honestly, as soon as you just make the decision that you're gonna just annihilate this and make this how you want it to be, your email and calendar will look better. You'll feel better wanting to go into it, and you won't be like, that email, why? I don't want to go at it. So ask yourself this: how do you want the flow to look like? So honestly, when it comes to organizing and managing your email, you want to ask yourself, how does it want to look? Where do I want certain emails to go? How do I want my calendar to look? Do I want to use stars? Do I want to use check marks? I'll go into that a little bit later. When it comes to calendar management, do I want to use different colors? Do I want to use words in front of them to know, like, this is an errand that I can possibly take off my schedule if it's too busy? Is this something that's tentative, so it's put on there as a just in case, and a time can change for that? So when you're thinking about how you want things to look, think about those little things, because as little as they may seem, they are very important in how you want your email to look. We'll talk about how to use filters and filtering out emails, deleting unsubscribed emails that you swore that you unsubscribed to, but for some reason keep coming back in. They're like a cockroach. They just won't leave. We will create a filter for that so they go away forever. And hopefully, like I said, every tip that I share with you guys, you can definitely use going forward. So let's talk about next steps. Honestly, if you haven't opened the email in the last like 2 months to over a year, you might just want to throw it out like this gift is showing you. Get rid of it. Honestly, if you've just had it sitting there for so long and you're not going to open it, you probably have unread emails from like 2020, 2019, even probably 2018. And you can probably think of some right now that you haven't even opened. Like, they just keep coming into your email, and you kind of either just like, I'm not going to open it, or I'm just going to leave it there and eventually go away. We need to make it go away. So we're going to learn how to do that. So here are some decisions that you're going to want to make. How many folders do you want? Do you want to use folders? A list of filters that you're definitely going to want to make and create. This will take some time once you figure out emails that you want to either get rid of or put into a folder once you've decided on folders. I know some people are huge on folders, so you can have a business folder and then subfolders as that folder, so on and so forth, and then create filters to put those emails in those folders. Or do you want to use a multi-inbox? Making these little decisions can definitely be the basic foundation of how the rest of your email will start to flow through, and it will definitely make your life just a little bit easier. So let's create a filter. So in this example, I found an email of a subscription that I kind of like, so I just use it as an example, but pretend this is one that you really don't like. It keeps coming back. You want it to go away. So you want to copy the email from the actual email itself and put it in the top search bar. Once it's in there, look for the down arrow on the side. Once you click the down arrow, the picture should show exactly what I see. So you're going to have this come up, and at the very bottom, you're going to want to create a filter. Now, the one thing I didn't picture is you can either keep has the words, or you can honestly put in the from, put the exact same email in there as well. So hopefully the breakdown that I wrote down and what I'm saying are coinciding, so that you can definitely see how to create a filter. If not, please let me know.
Can you explain, like, what is this again? Like so I'm copying the email address.
Yes.
Putting it in the search bar.
Yes, and then there should be a down arrow that will then bring up what's showing up here.
Okay, doing it now.
No worries, take your time.
Okay, and then there's, got it.
Oh, wait, I know. Wait, we're getting there. Okay.
Okay.
So next slide breaks down everything you can decide on this email. So for me personally, I always click skip the inbox, because at this point I'm making the decision that I don't want it to hit the main inbox. Now, you can change this if it's an email that you still want to go into your inbox, but you still want it to be put into a folder as soon as it comes in. You click apply the label, which is also like the folder, and then it still goes in that folder. So as soon as it comes into your inbox, it immediately gets labeled with that label. So like say that one of your labels is business information or Canva, because you're doing Canva and you're getting a lot of Canva stuff. It will automatically come in with that label. So as soon as you read it and archive it, it immediately goes in that box. Or you can click skip that inbox and it goes straight into that folder. So it's like a nice little filter of where everything's going. You can mark it as red, have it starred. You can honestly have it delete. Like deleted one is great. Skip the inbox and delete are my favorite things, because if you have that one email that you've unsubscribed to 10 million times and it still comes back in, you can create a filter for that one email subscription and click delete or send to spam, and that's what it'll keep doing. So you'll never see it hit your inbox ever again. Like chef's kiss, amazing.
This is absolute genius.
And then the best part is if you have one where there's like 100 plus emails of the same one, you're like, I don't want to go through and do this multiple times. If you click the very bottom one that says also apply filter to, it'll select every single email you've gotten from however long you've gotten them, and it just puts it all there, like whatever you decide for it. So if you have old emails from like 2016, 2017, you click that button and it collects every single email from before time and puts it all wherever you want it. So when I say creating filters is the best thing ever, you're like, oh my God, this is great.
And it's so easy. I didn't realize how easy this is.
Some people don't. And once you, like, that's why I show this. As soon as you see how easy it is, you're like, wow, that makes sense. And then it's just the time part of picking what emails you want to go where. And the best part is once you create this filter, it's created for life. You don't have to redo it. It never end dates unless you delete the filter. So it'll just keep going forever.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So I have, clients that I communicate with. So can I have the emails go straight into their own client folder? Okay. Hi. That's so cool.
I have that.
All right.
Like each client has their own folder, and I created a filter for each one of those clients. And I said, whenever it comes from this email, go skip the inbox and go straight into their folder. And that's all it does.
I love that.
And you can make unlimited filters. So there's no like limitations on how many filters you can create.
Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, keep going.
Trust me, like I said, once I figured this out myself and how much you could do with it, I was in heaven forever. So then once you decide it's time to execute, so now that you can create the folders that you want. You can figure out, okay, how many folders do I want? Do I want like a main client folder and then subfolders? Or do I just want plain folders? Or do I want to make sure that it's just business, personal, and other, and you keep it simple? Some people will make a million different folders, and that's fine. do as many as you want, but just make that decision. And then once you make that decision, doing the filters, so much easier, because then with the one that I just showed you, apply a label and you pick whatever label you want based off of everything. Or if you don't have anything there, you can create a label while you're in there, and then it just creates it for you. So just everything can be done at once. I love it. So now calendar management. This is the part that gets lost. Once you decide on a calendar date, you decide on a time, what happens after that? How do you make sure that it actually gets on your calendar? You manage your calendar. It doesn't get too crazy. It doesn't look like, someone just puked on it and it's just everywhere. So always have someone send a calendar invite, whether it's yourself or the person you just talked to. I always immediately afterwards, my client and I would be like, hey, can you send a calendar invite? Or since I'm her VA, I go, I'm going to send you a calendar invite. And I put the time, I put whatever information's in there. So someone just needs to put, what needs to be in the calendar invite, and we'll put like lunch in front of it. Or in quotations, we'll put errand. So then she knows if she's having a busy day, it can be pushed to the next day. So creating keywords that you want, like tentative or errand, making sure that you create that boundary for yourself. So then when you start doing your own calendar, you understand, okay, I'm looking at this with whatever you put, whether it's color coordinated, so all clients are this color, but in the title, you put which client it is. Or if it's something that you need to do personally, it's a different color and it says personal on it. So making those tiny decisions will definitely help start to create that momentum and that repetition for when it comes to calendar management. So this is just an example. You can create the event, put all the information in there, add a Google Meet, or for me personally, I add in the Zoom information in the description. So it's easy to just click the Zoom link in there or the information. Also with a calendar invite, you can create tasks. So if you know that there's tasks that need to be done for this specific one, you can create a task and it'll show up on your sidebar next to your emails. So like with this event coming up, you have tasks to do with it. And with the reminder, you can set the reminder for either an hour ahead, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. So always remembering these three of creating the event. What do I need to do for the event? Let me immediately create a task. That's why I love Google so much, is because as soon as you're in there, you can just immediately add whatever task you need. So if you're doing an onboard meeting, you can add the task of, making sure everything's set up in Dubsado or whatever you use for that, making sure you have your notes ready, making sure everything is set and ready to go, and then putting that reminder in. Plus, once you start adding in guests, that guest will then also be getting the reminders and everything. So that's why it's important to know who's sending the calendar invite. If you don't see the calendar invite, create one for yourself, add that person. If they need to add anything, it goes to them as well. So that for me is, making sure you have your boundaries straight on, okay, if you're adding something but you're not inviting anyone, are you putting personal client or, errand? Are you putting tentative? Are you color coordinating? If you are sending it to someone, are you sending it to the right people? Do you have the right information? Are you adding in travel time? Are you adding in setup time? So little things like that will definitely help with calendar management and keeping everything organized. For me personally, I definitely color coordinate and put different people's names in front of the events and calendar times, just to keep everything completely organized. And that is really everything for calendar and email management. Are there any questions before I move forward?
I had a question about the Google. So if I've already created an event, for example, can I go back and add tasks to it later? Okay, because I can't figure out how to do that. Is that like...
So you should be able to click the little pencil icon, which should be the edit icon, and it still should show up like event, task, and reminder. If that's, did you create it or did someone else create it?
Oh, someone else created it.
So that
makes sense.
If someone else created it, then that would be them creating the task. If you personally create it, that's how you add the task. But if you have it already in there, you can already go into your task icon. So like if you open up your Google and you look on the sidebar, there should be a calendar icon. There should be a task icon that I think is like a light bulb or something like that. Like there's different icons. And once you do that, you can create the task, for the event and like kind of attach it yourself in a different way and go from there.
Got it. Okay. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, once other people create it, you can't really do that part. You can always like edit the event to add certain notes, but the task and reminder is more of if you're creating it for yourself.
Okay. The second question I had about the events on the calendar is my biggest issue is I do like to color code, but then I go crazy and then all my colors get mixed up and then it just looks like a rainbow, like with no organization. So I'm just wondering if you have specific strategies that you use so that it doesn't just look like someone colored all over with random.
Personally, for me, like I mentioned, I would color coordinate based on who it is. So color wise, so like clients, if you already associate, like color association for me is like a big thing for me. So if I see a specific color, like for example, blue is like a calming color. So what would I put with calming? I put like personal events as blue and put like personal and then put everything that's personal in blue. So in your head, you can go, okay, that's a personal thing. And then you can read the title of it to know what exactly it is. So like all your clients could be, say, yellow. So all of them are yellow, but in the title, you can put the specific client for who it's for. So you can start really narrowing down the color and then being more specific in the title itself. And that's why I like doing the calendars this way, because like you said, it turns into a rainbow amount of different things and you have no idea what's going on. So that's why I tell people color associate based on who it is. So whether it's a new clients are, let's say, like purple. So new clients are purple and you put who the new client is. Once they become a like regular client, they're yellow. So every client is yellow. You go into the calendar title and you put, like Patricia dash like meeting. So then okay, so it's a client thing that's coming up and it's this. If you want to put errands as like, I'm trying to think of colors. I don't know why colors are like losing me. Pink. If you want to put errands as pink, okay, an errand is coming up in pink. What is that errand? So really trying to narrow down, okay, write down what everything is going to be color-wise so that it's more organized so that when you're looking at it quickly, your mind can immediately go, okay, I have something client-related coming up. I'll check it in a few minutes, but I know something client-related is coming. And then once you put who it is, then your mind can start clicking to, okay, so that's what the meeting is about. And then your mind will be able to have time to catch up with what you're about to do.
So that was so helpful. I think like I really like that you mentioned like the color association because that like automatically elicits that emotional response.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. I think my biggest issue is that since I also have a 9 to 5 and my business, like somehow because they're both like work related, the colors start to like mesh.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like, what you would suggest to separate those two in terms of like not just colors, but also how you label them.
Yeah. So are you using 2 separate emails and combining it into one calendar, or is it just one email for everything?
I put my work events onto my personal calendar so that I don't forget. Because my work calendar isn't on my phone, for example. So I always like sort of like doubled it. I have like a work calendar that I use while I'm working, but then I put them on my personal calendar too, so that I don't forget, if that makes sense.
Again, so for me, because I have a client that has multiple emails that go onto one calendar, I would start by, and this just again with the color association, figure out what colors you want and then see if you can go onto your calendar and just click one email at a time and just kind of go back and forth and seeing how you want it to go. I think with the 9 to 5, if you want to put like 9 to 5 in front of it, or again, color associated, for that one, it could be like black. So, like this is a work thing. This is not anything to do with business. And then your business is all like the yellows and the greens. So like that's more colorful. So then like maybe not use any color for the 9 to 5, like use a one solid color for the 9 to 5, that's it. You know exactly when you see black, that's it, nothing else. And then when you see all the different colors, you're like, that's business related. Okay, business mind is going to be turned on as soon as I see those colors.
That was really, really helpful.
Well, like I try, I'm very big on color association. Like when I see certain colors, or even for me, like on my phone, I'll have certain icon next to people's names. So if I'm trying to look at it quickly, I see the icon and I go, okay, that makes sense. I know exactly who that is and I know how to answer.
Okay.
But
Okay.
icons, that could be a whole different thing too, of adding like a little ding or an exclamation point, like on certain different things to really start going through all that. You can do that too.
Okay. That's, yeah, my labeling, my color, it just looks terrible. So that's so helpful for me because then also my mind doesn't go insane.
Yep.
And I think using like the icons, like emojis, also would help to sort of distinguish what is happening within, like if black is my 9 to 5, if it's a holiday, like I'm a teacher,
Yeah.
if it's a holiday, I can put a heart emoji in the black. Okay.
Or even
Yeah.
a drink icon next to it, because there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Ah, so helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna do this all right now.
Listen, like I said, take everything as you need, because I just shared everything, and I knew that some people needed something like this where it was like, help me. Like some people are right there and they just don't know what to do, and then it's like that one thing just changes their entire life.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you.
Welcome. So now with all the tips and tricks out the way, discounts, as I kept mentioning all week, for those that showed up or those that will be getting the email about it. I love gifts. I love discounts. Everyone loves a good discount. So I wanted to show the 2 offers that I have. So I do a one-time cleanup where I personally go in and I just clean up everything in your email. If that even includes creating filters, multi-inbox, if you want me to help with calendar, I do it one time. Go in, it gives me a little bit of time to figure out what you want, at least get it started for you, and then you can take the reins. Also, where this replay will be is at my email management course, where I show you everything. I'm starting to really create a lot of videos, but I'm going to create more videos on filters, multi-inbox, how to use everything. I've also put there where I have boxes where you can type in emails that you want to unsubscribe to, emails that you want to create filters for, how to create filters, knowing like everything, breaking it down step by step so it's very personal to you, because every person's different. Everyone doesn't want the exact same thing. So that's why I created this course, to ask you the questions that you need, ask the questions that really get you thinking about your inbox and how to get that completely set up. So I decided to create a sale for both. So they usually both go for $200, and I've slashed it off to only be $100. I will be sending the discount links for both after this is done, that you can immediately sign up for. If you have someone that you personally know that wants an email cleanup and you want to share that, I'm okay with that as well. Sharing is caring, and so a lot of people want it. Some people really like discounts, and that's what I'm here to do. I just want to share that with everyone, and ta-da, all done. I'm a huge gift person, and I love using gifts. As you can tell, I use an appropriate amount, and that is all. I don't know if you guys had any more questions for me or if everything was good. Yay. Okay, I will stop recording. And